Good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook video where I'm going to discuss with you all the major dollar pairs and gold. Guys, yesterday a big day because yesterday we had the FOMC meeting at 8 o'clock in the evening my time, and this moved the dollar massively. On the daily time frame, what we can see is that the bullish order flow continued up higher. So we had a push up, a retracement down, another push up, retracement down, and now we have another push up. So what did happen, and I talked about it in the previous outlook as well, is that we had a bullish demand zone over here. Bullish daily demand zone, and of course it would have been better if we could have traded down lower connecting towards this demand zone, but the market is not always perfect. And I also talked about the fact that we could see a push up higher from this demand zone, and that is exactly what happened yesterday. If we then go in towards the 4-hour time frame, then there were two possible scenarios I talked about as well. Could have been that after swiping the liquidity above this high and a break in towards the downside, that we would have seen some continuation down lower to grab some more liquidity and connect that demand zone. But on the other hand, after coming back in towards this demand zone here, price could have pushed us down lower. We even retraced down in towards this like premium last little demand zone that took out some liquidity, but in my opinion wasn't the strongest. I would have liked to see that get swiped and then a change of character. But as you can see, we pushed down in towards the demand zone, and then price just shoot up in towards the absolute skies. Then what is next for DXY, in my opinion? We did not see a candle close off the highs yet, so we swiped them, didn't break them. If we do break out of this range here, then I do expect at some point some kind of pullback back in towards this demand zone that's then created. And from there on, I would like to see some new longs in towards at least the 101.974 level that's or 101.977 level that's situated over here. That's my immediate target. So yeah, going to be looking for positions to scale in on that. If we then go to EURUSD, of course, it's pushed down in towards the absolute bottom yesterday. If we look at the 4-hour time frame, then yes, it's funny what's happened here, because there was still some liquidity open in this whole move. Then I looked at the fact that on the 4-hour we had a break of structure here. 4-hour break of structure in towards the downside, swing BOS. What you can then do is grab your premium discount tool from the highs to the lows, as I did here. It's a little bit to the side like this, and then either one of two things could have happened. Yes, we traded back in towards this little demand zone that was situated, or supply zone that was situated over here for our bearish chain. And yes, it could indeed happen that price would push down lower from this zone, as it just did today, or yesterday actually. But on the other hand, no real liquidity was swiped. So the way I looked at the market is that this was still open liquidity. This was still open liquidity. We still had the monthly open that was situated over here. That was not touched or anything. So yeah, I would have liked to see if we would have grabbed some liquidity over here. Then yesterday, when we were trading over here, I looked at the price action there, and once again, no real liquidity was being swiped. We just created descending highs here. So of course, amazing liquidity for in the future, but not something I wanted to place my trade. I did look for a position over here, but then I don't want to place my stop above these highs because they're descending. plus the fact that we had FOMC at 8 o'clock in the evening, and I'm not going to be putting in a trade with such a small stop loss then okay, next highs, a little bit safer in consideration that you have a bigger stop loss, but then once again, descending highs and no real liquidity being swiped, so not a strong high. Another liquidity high, another liquidity high, and if I would have placed it all the way over here, then I needed a super big trade, and I didn't want to get into that as well. So yeah, there were maybe some opportunities to be taken, but when I looked at my trading checklist and at my plan, there was no real position to be put into the markets before FOMC, and I decided to stay out. So let's see what the rest of next week and coming weeks can bring us, because as I said, I do still expect that DXY to push up higher. So would be great if we can get some kind of a retracement eventually, 3 monthly open, weekly open, preferably 3 monthly open, using this as liquidity, then a change of character once again, where some liquidity gets swiped, and then I am happy to look for some more shorts in towards the downside, towards at least these lows here and this low over here. But that's going to be for next week. Then we have GU. On GU, it was kind of the same. Been looking at GU for quite some time now, but we were still having a fractal structure that was situated between this high and this low, and we were trading in no man's land here. Now we did break structure in towards the downside, so the 4-hour structure break is also the 4-hour fractal break, and now we're nearly tapping the 3 monthly open. GU as well, looking for some more downside continuation down lower towards these lows here, and eventually push down a little bit lower still, based on some more fundamental plays for the GBP. It's like the same scenario is going on here. I want to see a retracement, then some clear liquidity being swiped, and then a position in towards the downside going into next week. NZDUSD. NZDUSD was also a beautiful play from this 4-hour supply zone here. The only thing that was a little bit unfavorable for me was the fact that this was, yes, indeed a supply zone, but not a really strong one. We didn't swipe any liquidity here. Then price started to push down lower. So this would be a liquidity high as well. Not really convincing in my opinion. Then looking at the fact that over here we pushed in towards that supply zone, didn't swipe the high once again, and then we started to break down, didn't want to trade off this these highs or these descending highs as well, and decided to stay out of this position, even though the shorts were really nice to take. Also the fact that because I was looking at this myself, after swiping this liquidity here, a push up, a break down, and then a push in towards the highs, me as well, I was looking for some potential scale in for or getting in positions for a long, but gladly I changed my mind and bias because of some extra information I got through Forex fundamentals, using that for the fundamental analysis that I do since like a week or 2-3, starting to get into that. So yeah, I did understand that the downside for this pair was favorable, but I didn't got the confirmation technical wise, so that's why I didn't got into position. Then we have AUDUSD. AUDUSD as well got another break in towards the downside over here. We did swipe a lot of liquidity. We had a push up, and then I also looked for some potential upside after swiping this liquidity here, but as of now I do suspect a little bit more downside. The fact that I was looking for some potential upside is that the reason that I didn't take the trade over here, because if we go to the 1 hour time frame, then what we see over here is that we do indeed swipe the liquidity here. We have a little bit of a push down, and then a swipe of the highs, and then on the break you could have entered a position something like this, with your stop loss above these highs, and then I wanted to risk the reward or put it on the lows, but wanted to risk the reward, would have been hit, but because I was looking in the wrong direction, I didn't see this trade until after it happened or unfolded. USDCAD, also an absolute beauty. Didn't manage to get into a position on USDCAD as well. All of this happened during the week that I was away on Sicily, so I didn't get into a position here. And then yesterday and the day before, we didn't really retrace deep enough for me to enter a position. Like now that I look at it after, this could have been a position here, like this, on the break up, and then I wanted to risk the reward. Still, like a little bit of a big swing position. Yeah, then you would have been put into the trade with FOMC, not favorable. On the lower time frame as well, I was looking at this, and I wanted to place my stop over here because that would have been the safest point. Then of course you could have looked at the fact that you have a swipe of liquidity, then as 2 1 hour fractal breaks in towards the high, so on this break, and then your stop loss underneath here. Then you would have been almost at TP currently. But yeah, I decided not to do this because what I would have liked to see and what would have liked to happen, I had a entry somewhere around this level here. So I would have liked if price could have continued down a little bit lower, swiping this liquidity here, then a change of character, and then I would have been really happy to get into the trade. So I missed this one. And now after the FOMC meeting, it's just waiting until some further price action comes into the market. Then on UJ, of course, USD DXY is pushing massively. So this is just continuing up higher. We did now swipe this liquidity high over here. And in my opinion, we're coming closer and closer to the day that the Bank of Japan might intervene with the USDJPY pair, or they will buy back the yen and sell their dollars. So I'm still expecting a price push in towards the downside eventually, but as of now we're just continuing up higher with the strong dollar. Then USDCHF also pushed up a little bit higher, but it's still not grabbing any liquidity or showing us anything. Yes, we had some bullish order flow, didn't manage to get into a clear position over here. This demand zone, in my opinion, was not really strong, just descending or ascending lows. We grab some liquidity here, we continue down lower, and then at FOMC we just push up in towards the highs. Not the real position to be taken here for me. If we then go to gold, then gold provided us, to be honest, with a beautiful short opportunity. We swipe the liquidity above here, we start to push down and consolidate, we swipe one more time, and then we break in towards the downside. Then last night and into this morning, we came back perfectly in towards the supply zone over here. This was a beautiful trade that could have been taken, but as you guys know, I do not short gold, so beautiful position, not for me currently. Silver as well. If we look at silver, kind of the same price action. We swipe the liquidity, we push down, break down, sellers come into the market, we swipe them once again during FOMC, we push down, we come back in towards the supply zone, and I do see silver pushing down lower once again, with some beautiful short opportunities that provided itself this morning, but didn't take it because of my rules. Then on copper, I was looking at a long position, so could have taken this position over here just with a limit order, and then your TP somewhere around the highs, or I wanted to risk reward in my case. But what I do want to wait for now is a push in towards the downside, and if we then inside of here, this demand zone can get some bullish confirmation once again, I want to look for longs. But now after the FOMC meeting, I'm a little bit cautious with taking a new copper position just yet. And then there was one more beautiful trade to be taken. This was, for me, purely a fundamental based trade. Did a fundamental analysis for USD and I would have liked to enter on this liquidity over here. On the other hand, yes, we did swipe some liquidity and then got a push up, so was a rather strong low. We did manage to stay above that low. Didn't create real nice price action. Would have seen this low to get swiped and then a push up, but of course, dollar is pushing massively into the moon, so this just left without me, sadly. Guys, thanks for watching today's market outlook. I'll hope to see you guys in the next one, and hopefully next week we can have some beautiful, beautiful new opportunities and positions. I am going to analyze the markets tomorrow morning, but there is nothing to do for me personally. As of now, markets need to reaccumulate and like give us some clearer structure once again to enter some positions. Guys, thanks for watching. Bye.